also some projects to do with this boat. I had an issue with wheel bearings last year. It's got all the wheel bearings and everything on it, but I'll show you this later on, I think. But up here, in this little pocket, right up in here on the bow, I'm gonna put in an ammo can. It's a pretty good size one. It's one of the like 12, well here, there it is. I know I'm all over the place, sorry. See that ammo can up there? It's that same size. It's like a 20 millimeter ammo can. I'm gonna mount one of those up underneath the bow of the boat, and it'll have 2 extra spindles with bearings and seals, grease gun, tube of grease, bottle jack, which I still need to go buy, the tire iron, everything you would need to work on the trailer. Currently, all the tools we keep in the boat, but when your boat's off the trailer, what do we need trailer tools for? It just takes up space. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit of rearranging, mounting that box up on the trailer will allow us to store some stuff and just make it a little bit nicer, I think. So anyway, it's a project we got to work on too. So I don't know if we'll get that done before we take the boat out crabbing, but while we're doing boat stuff, it's a good time to think about it. So I should at least have everything in the box and in the truck when I haul it down to the coast to go crabbing, just in case anything happens. So yeah, anyway, you're along for the ride, and as I do stuff, I'll show you. All right, the next thing is this box, which before this trip, I'm not gonna have time to get mounted on the trailer, but we'll go ahead and get everything in it, and I'll just put it in the cab of the truck. But this will be all of the stuff for trailer repairs if need be. There's already, if you look in here, there's already one packaged up spindle. Here's the other one, so this is what I'm keeping in it. 2 spare spindles. See the tape over them, it's got the bearings already packed into them. Has the seals already done and everything else. Basically all you need to do is just, these are ready to be inserted if we need it. So that will go get. I've got 5 spare lug nuts, just in case one gets cross-threaded, screw one up, drop one, lose one, whatever. There's 5 extra lug nuts. 2 caps. Once again, if I going down the road and one of my bearing buddies or something pops off, I got 2 spare caps to be able to put it back on. Tools for removing the tire, so a breaker bar, a ratchet, a socket. I already did double check this is the right size for the lug nuts, so I've got those. I just picked up a new 8-ton bottle jack at Harbor Freight. So I can get that up underneath the axle, pick up the tire, that will go in the kit. And then lastly, I bought this kit off of Amazon. It's a grease gun, all the different adapters, everything you need for grease and bearings, needles, grease needles, the whole thing. I wrapped up and added another tube, or a tube. I didn't install it in the gun just so it didn't make a mess, but a tube of wheel bearing grease. It's also in the kit. So these things will all go in this box. I can put the lid on it, and then when it's mounted to the trailer, it should be pretty weatherproof. I'll put some desiccants in this too to make sure that we don't have any issues. But then it should be good to go. I will say from experience, test your systems. And when I say test your systems, I mean, when you have all of this stuff, go through and do the job one time and make sure it actually works. I've been out with guys before that like get a flat tire on their truck. They go to pull down the spare, they get the spare down and everything else. Well, they have aftermarket wheels on, and the lug nuts are a different size than what the factory lug nuts were, and the stuff that's with the truck doesn't work. So get underneath, use something like the bottle jack we have right here. Make sure that it goes tall enough. This one has a screw end in it, which makes it even higher, but probably in this kit, if I have some extra room, I'll throw in a couple 2x6 wood blocks, just so if I need a bigger footprint, if I'm in sand or soft soil or whatever, I got something else to put this jack on. But test all that stuff out. Maybe this jack, I've seen it before too, where guys go to put a jack in and the jack's actually too tall. You can't actually get it up underneath the axle or on the frame or whatever. not going to have that problem with mine. I did check it beforehand. But once again, I'm telling you, just go through all your systems. It's pretty easy to go out, put your ratchet or your lug wrench together, test it on a wheel, make sure that, you have the right size for what you need. Test your jack, make sure that you have, the jack's great, but if you don't have the jack handles for it, it's kind of a pain in the butt to be able to do it. I mean, you could do it with a pair of pliers, but if you have the right tools, it's way easier. So just check all your systems, make sure everything's good to go, and that way when you need it, it'll be easy. There's nothing, in my mind, there's very few things that are scary as laying on the side of the road on a busy highway. And if you've ever been down in Oregon around the Coast Range highways and stuff, the shoulder on them from the white line to the dirt is about this big. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be on a highway. Your vehicle's going to be in the highway. You're going to have log trucks, milk trucks, you name it, coming down there, blind corners, and you're going to be trying to fix something. So make sure that you have, the tools to be able to fix it in a timely manner as quickly as possible. Road flares or cones or flaggers or, something so that you can stay safe. Get it all in a kit, get in a system, make sure that you have what you need when you need it, and test it, right? No professional sports team just goes out and plays. They all have practice. So take a practice, you'll figure out what you're missing, and you'll be good to go. All right, I found these, I found 2x6 out in my wood pile. I just cut them down into 8-inch sections for blocks for the jack. So I think I should be able to stack these inside the box pretty easy. And then I'll have some dunnage, some wood blocks in case I need to stack the jack up or expand the foot or whatever to put the jack on for uneven ground. So I just cut these up real quick, get them stuck in the box. Kind of some creative packing, but I did get, there's 4 wood blocks inside this, 2 down low, 2 up on top. So that should be plenty of dunnage for that. All right, we're back on the boat box. This is, well, you'll see the rest of the video. So I'm getting ready to mount this on the trailer. I think I've come up with a decent plan. I'm gonna take a couple pieces of angle iron. I'm actually gonna, this box is heavy enough, the sheet metal in it's heavy enough. I'm gonna weld these to the end. Let's bring it in a little closer here. I'm gonna weld these to both ends of the box, and then I'm gonna weld this bar across the top of it. Obviously this is flipped upside down. Then when I roll it over, I can weld the underside of the bar up to the trailer frame. And then that should give me enough room underneath the boat winch and everything else where I can pack the box, store all the spare tire stuff, everything else that I need to. And yeah, anyway, should work out great. Originally I was gonna weld this stuff together and then bolt the box to it, but now looking at it, I like the idea of welding the steel to the box because then I don't have any penetrations. So obviously a boat trailer is going to be kind of more in a wet environment. By not actually drilling any holes from it, I shouldn't have any water intrusion. So the stuff that I put inside, I'll put some oxygen scavenging desiccant balls in there, package of those. So stuff shouldn't rust inside there, and everything else the outside of the box obviously will rust, and I'll paint it up a little bit. But yeah, anyway, so that's the plan right now. So I'm going to tack this all together, and then after I have it all tacked up, I'll take you guys out. We'll test fit it to the boat. Then I'll come back. If I'm happy with it, I'll finish welding all this. Then we'll move it back out into the other shop, and we'll weld it up on the boat trailer. So let me get it laid out, and I'll show you. All right, we got some good healthy tacks on everything. I think that'll do. That'll get us where we want to go. So let's go over and see what it's going to look like in the room. All right, so this is the plan. I'm thinking about mounting it right in there. So it's just a little bit behind the roller of the boat. I don't think the bow, unless we did something silly, the bow would never come up underneath this roller, like with the bow mounted motor and everything else. Fortunately, the lid on this one slides side to side. It doesn't pop up or down. So it's a little bit tight in here, but you can tell with the lid off, like you could get to everything that you needed out of there. So I think that's the plan. I think I'll mount it right there. So I'll take it back into the shop and we'll finish welding out all the stuff on the bottom. And then we'll bring it back, check it one more time, put the lid on it, and do all the other stuff, make sure it's gonna work. And then I'll fix my thing here, hold on. Anyway, then I'll weld it to the bottom of this box channel, the frame. So it'll just be mounted on there permanently. But that's what it'll look like, you know, when it's mounted. Won't hardly be able to see it from this side. Kind of the same thing. So I think that'll work out good. Be a good storage area. Unlike most trailers, you know, you'd mount like a storage box to the tongue. Well, in this one, obviously, you can see with the tongue, I've already put on like this piece of extruded metal step so that you can get down, you can get to the winch and everything else to hook the boat on. So putting it up here, can't put it on the other side because I've got the jack and the tire. If I hadn't put this step on, I probably could have taken that box and mounted it on the trailer tongue up here and then used the box as an actual step. But since I welded that step on, we're gonna put it back there. And I think that'll be a good spot for it. All right, stay tuned. All right, check out this shop gadget. So it's a Sawzall, but then this is one of those Amazon specials. You put your paint can in there, right? And then you latch it down like so, and then you mix your paint. So if you got old spray paint sitting around for quite a while, yeah, the ball's free now. But that's pretty cool. Mix it up pretty quick. So you can see right here next to me, I got the box hung up. I'm gonna throw some primer down on it. I've got it all welded up with the bar. So I'll paint it over today, tomorrow, whatever, to be able to attach it to the trailer in the other shop. I don't have a 220 plug in that shop, so I gotta borrow a 110 volt small welder from a buddy. So we'll get this all painted up, we'll get it ready to go, and then next week or something I'll swing by his house and pick up his little welder, and we'll buzz this into place and I'll show you the final product. This is kind of fun. There we go, it's good to go. All right, I think we're on about the final step of the box here for the boat. As you can see, I have the box clamped up on the trailer, got out the welder, so I got the galvanized taken off the bottom of the frame, so I should be able to just weld that up, and then this is where the box with all the trailer service stuff will sit, and yeah, it should be out of the way up there. So I'm going to sorry about that, turn back this way. So I'm gonna suit up in my leathers and stuff and get that thing burning. Then we'll throw some paint on it and hopefully we'll call it good. So stay tuned, I'll show you the final result. All right, so we got the box mounted up here. I've got the stuff inside of it. The last thing I'm gonna put in is this desiccant pack. So it's yeah, just kind of a homemade. I bought the desiccant, actually I got it from a job years ago, but I bought these little breathing bags and I put it in there, so I'll drop that in there. This will keep any moisture that gets in the box out, keep everything from rusting, and then we'll put the lid on. So let me grab the lid. All right. So the nice thing about this lid is because it slides, we don't have to worry about it hitting up here. Just walk around the other side. Let me get it on. guess I need a hammer. There. It's pretty stout. Shouldn't rattle too much. All right, and if you hear in the background, I am watching the Sean Rand show. He's got on micro. It's a great episode. I listened to the podcast the other day, but I usually have on YouTube when I'm working on stuff. So shout out to Sean Rand if he sees this. Anyway, I listen to his stuff. You should too. He's got good stuff on there. Anyway, boat's all done. Gonna put it back in the shop and maybe go fishing this weekend.